My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Noonas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And it's the last episode of 2024. We did it! We made it through another year!
It's exciting, but also, like, how? How is it already
man.
the end of the year?
Right?
But also, how did we, like, make it?
I don't know.
That's my question. I don't know how I made it survive. But
I also want to say, we are recording this on the 23rd of December.
Yeah, so, like, there is a chance.
And not to be a downer,
but, like,
fingers crossed.
if we say something and then, like, when this comes out, things went really bad.
You guys are like, how could you pick them as your favorite? Yeah, well, we didn't know yet.
Sorry. This smash hasn't come out yet.
Like, the reason I'm saying that is because, like, for instance, like, let's say how many dramas we watched or something. We really might be. So, like, we're saying this as of December.
Yeah, I have plans on watching dramas, so, like, my top dramas might actually change within
right.
So.
As of the 23rd of December. This is what the info is.
And especially for Jessie, like, having holiday time off from work and being able to have more time to watch. So, like, you know.
And, access to more streaming services without ads, so it's going to be really helpful for my drama watching.
Yeah.
So, just our little caveat. And for our last episode of the year, normally this would be a what we're watching episode. But it's going to be what we did watch throughout the whole year.
And listen to, we're going to add some, like, Asian music, K-pop stuff, so.
Yep. Yeah. And just our usual end of the year shenaniganery. Because that's what we do at the end of every year, and that's what I think everyone does in the K-drama podcast.
Much so.
Yeah.
It's a little wrap up.
So, the first thing, we gotta all fess up to how many dramas we watch. And as is tradition, I always go last. Because I'm the embarrassment, is what happens. I'm
an embarrassment at all. Stop it.
I'm an embarrassment to the concept of sleep, is what's happening.
I am an embarrassment. Trust me, I know I am worse than you, and that's, like, really bad because I'm not filling it with watching dramas either.
So, let's go, Amanda. I know you've been more in an anime thing this year, so your numbers might be a little deflated.
And schoolwork,
right?
School,
yeah.
So
or
you could have.
My numbers are actually even, anime and drama.
Oh,
cool.
Pretty much. I mean, I've got theoretically one extra drama, but I've not technically finished that one yet. So, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm at like 15 each. Okay. So, that's respectable numbers.
Yes.
I don't think I've watched this few dramas in a year since the first year that I started watching dramas.
You've been busy.
Right?
You've been busy.
That's true. Yeah.
So, I mean, I did read like 180 books, though.
Well,
so, that's where some of that time went.
Listen, we prioritize our time differently, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Jessie, how many did you get through? I know you got through a lot of movies.
I did. Yeah, so I didn't actually add up all my movies, but I watched a lot of movies, but I didn't watch a lot of, like, non-English movies out of that too. So it's like, probably like 10 or so, especially with, like, movie club stuff that Natalia and I do for the Patreon. That might have been, like, my movie number, but my official number with rewatches is 27 dramas this year, which is, like, high, but, like, when you count the fact that, like, 80% of them are 6 episodes or less, it's like,
we don't need to justify that.
Cheating.
We don't need to justify
we listen
that.
And we don't judge.
Yes, that's true. Thank you.
Exactly.
I do think it's, like, a higher number than I expected because a lot of the times there were, like, months consecutively where I hadn't watched a single episode of something. So that's kind of surprising that I've, like, been able to do this much. Just, like, life has been crazy with work, and I've also been kind of really not doing well health-wise. So, like, between the two of those things, it's just very hard to figure out how to do everything. And then also, like, I live alone. So, like, then on top of it, it's like I have to, like,
take care
living
of
stuff and
being a person. Yeah.
So it's a respectable number. I know why it's nothing to do with drama land. It's purely because of life.
Yeah, same.
Sky, what did you do?
So I moved this year, a surprise move. I will preface, like, it wasn't even a pre-planned, like, oh, this is something we had always planned. No, I didn't think I'd ever move. So, that ate up lots of time this year.
Several months of time, really.
My stress levels, oh my goodness. So like, I wasn't really surprised at the number, like, but when I really started, like, looking back at what they all were, I was like, I was pretty impressed considering, like, kind of like you were just like, oh no, not shabby. Of course, then when I look at, like, probably half of that was for the podcast, it's totally fine.
Yeah, that's also true.
It doesn't make it not count. You enjoyed the
you're
stuff
still watching
the
game right there.
Fine.
So, as of today, and I know I'm definitely going to be adding, like, one more drama into this later, but it's not quite done. There's 2 more episodes left. 26 dramas as of today.
Okay.
15 movies.
Nice.
Not too bad considering, in my opinion. And yeah, when I started looking back, I was like, I did a lot of heavy watching, like, before I moved. I noticed I had a pretty solid entrance to the year, and I think that helped my numbers a lot. And so then
those good months really help the numbers. You're like, oh, yeah. I'm just, like, knocking them, like, every week I'm doing a couple. And you're like, oh.
Right. Because I was kind of just looking back through. I was like, oh, these were all in February. I did, like, three dramas at the same time. I was currently airing all over the place. Like, I was on it with some stuff before I moved. And then it was like, oh. But, I don't know. It was pretty decent. How about you, Natalia?
Wait,
hey, I want to preface for Natalia, too. Are you going to give an estimate for your vertical drama?
I will. But before we do that, what's that? What's that you hear in the distance? Is it the sound of a strange, discordant flute that's communally divisive? That's right. I watched 127 dramas. Hey-o! That's right. NCT joke. Didn't see that coming. So I watched 127 legitimate dramas.
Wow.
Thank you.
The award.
It's actually it's actually, like, significantly less than I did last year because I also had a year. I forgot to calculate my movies, but I think it's probably in, like, the 30s. I would say I watched about 30 movies, Asian movies, and we're gonna, like, estimate how many of these terrible TikTok C-dramas I've watched. I would say probably, like, 60 or so.
Wow.
Like, I'm actually kind of shocked that, like, you've had time or even focused any time on regular dramas because you've been so obsessed with these vertical dramas.
For, like, the past 2 months, I've been like, I gotta stop watching these and watch real dramas. I gotta stop watching.
I mean, they are, like, dramas. Like, they should be counted.
Crack nublets that I can't help. But I did watch 127, which gave me a little chuckle. When I saw, I was like, everywhere I look, I see your face. Like a sticker.
Perfect.
Yeah, that was me. Of all genres, long, short. I got feed them all, babes. And yet, somehow, I think I still had an easier time picking my favorites than Sky did. Because she definitely, she lamented over it, I'm sure. She always does. Every year she goes, oh.
I'm not cut out for that. Like, I'm really...
She just picks good dramas. So, like, when she watches them, she's like, oh no, another great one. It's just along the same lines.
I'm not great at rating dramas because the reality is, if I finished a drama, I liked it well enough to keep going for some reason. And so I actually really... So, like, on MDL, you know, some people, you know, some of you gals are really good at having your rating system, and so, like, you're able to, like, make that decision. I just struggle with stuff like that.
Sometimes it's just vibes, though. Like, my struggle this year is that because I didn't have as much drama watching time, I dropped stuff way faster than I maybe would have normally, right? So it was like, started it, gone. So everything I completed, sort of like what you're saying, Scott, like, everything I completed was an 8 or up, basically, because if it
your
wasn't,
precious time you had,
I got rid of it. So, it's like, what's your favorite? And I'm looking at my list and I'm going, okay, there were some that were like 8.5s or 9s or 10s. But when I think about my year, they're not necessarily the ones that I am thinking about, like, as being my top watches of the year. So they were good in the moment, but they're not the ones that stuck with me either. So.
Yeah.
But we don't really focus on the stuff we didn't like. That ain't how we do things here, okay? We ain't the haters, okay? We the communicators. We want to give you the joy that we did, and by letting you know what our top 3 dramas were. So that's what we're doing now, baby cakes.
Yeah.
All right, let's go oldest to youngest. Amanda, give us your top 3.
Just pull off that Band-Aid. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
You can change it tomorrow all you want.
It's fine. There's no like monetary compensation for these dramas. Like there's nothing. We have nothing to say on this. It's totally fine.
There would be so much pressure if that was the case, though.
Right?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna go with my top 3 in no particular order, being Brewing Love. I just really enjoyed it. It's cute. It's fun. It's got a little bit of extra depth. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna go with We Go Fast on Trust, which was a C-drama from last year that I watched this year about racing and romance. Also, just really enjoyed it, and it's stuck in my head. And for a third one, I'm going to throw out the anime Apothecary Diaries, because it was
you did
very,
really
very
like
good,
that
and I really, really enjoyed that. And apparently there's going to be a second season next year. So
Hell yeah! Hell yeah! Who knew?
All right. For me, so I'm gonna pick, this no order as well, A Shop for Killers. I thought that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. It was one of the
good show.
It was very early on in the year too. Another early on one. This is not a 2024 drama; it's a 2022 drama. But since I watched it now, I'm gonna include it because it didn't have a chance in 2022 to become a top drama, and I want to
exactly.
You know,
it's not your top drama of this year. It's your top drama you watched this year.
Because we all watched,
we watch things of all.
But it's the J drama Silent. So good. If you haven't watched it, you really should. It's very good all around. And then in the third pick, I have the K-drama The Frog, which is like a very great thriller. It takes you on a ride, and I had a lot of fun with it, and I thought all the actors were brilliant in it. So these are my top 3.
Yep. Cool. So my top 3.
Natalia's top 3.
Natalia's top 3. Ooh, okay, so one I think is going to be on a lot of people's top list just for vibes and vibes alone, and that was My Sweet Mobster.
Oh yeah, that was
it was like, listen, it was so like, listen, I love a simp.
It was like cotton candy.
It was so. I ate that shit up.
That's my only 10 from this year. But like, just because it did what it was supposed to do.
Listen, it delivered exactly what it said it was going to deliver. He was an ex-mobster who's now a sweetheart, and he's a simp. Say less.
Perfect.
There you go.
Hello. Continuing the simp energy, my next favorite, but make it gay, we have Monster Next Door, which was... I'm obsessed with this show, and they just announced that the 2 actors are making a new isekai show.
Oh boy!
Hello, thank you, little Christmas gift for me. Another beefy simp.
There you go.
Perfect.
Perfect.
I have a plot I like, and then for something completely different. My top drama of the year, incredible drama. I think so many people should watch it. So good. The Double. It's a historical C-drama, revenge drama on Netflix.
Okay.
Unbelievably good. Just absolutely chef's kiss. So delicious of a drama.
Mm-hmm.
I literally loved every second. And if I can just interject one thing, it's not like it's my top. You know, I'll wait till after. I'll wait till it's done.
Okay.
You go. I'm good. You go. Go.
Okay. So in no particular order for me, maybe I do think Light Shop probably number one. I can't tell anybody anything about it though.
Listen, it's part of my watches.
It's fine.
Where
It's
I'll
part of
have
mine
no
too.
ads.
It's my Christmas holiday watch.
But what I do want to say about it, like, so I
So
don't want
maybe a
people to
top.
think. I do want to say definite horror themes, so that is a big aspect, and death. Like those are two aspects. If that's not your thing, proceed with caution, please. Like,
I will say, having watched the first 10 minutes and then been like, no, I'm not gonna watch this until I can not have to deal with
Sit
that.
down and watch it. Yeah.
It very right on. You know what, like that it's a horror, like you know that it's giving horror vibes. So it's not even like
definitely the first. I think it's only 8 episodes.
Yeah,
definitely the first 3 or 4. Very, very hard on the horror to where I do think some people it will be too scary for them. So like I do want to emphasize like content warnings for that. But I really, really enjoyed it. Blood Free. Oh my gosh. Blood Free. Content warnings for Blood Free.
Blood Free was on my top list. Blood Free was also on my top list.
Oh, Blood Free's so good. Can't tell you much about that either. It's so good.
Now you know like
yeah, it's like because a lot of these shows, I really do want people to pay attention to the content warnings, but like Light Shop, I do think other than content warnings, going in blind to some of these shows, it's a lot better. So like if you can, try to avoid spoilers for that stuff. The third, because like it consumed a lot of my brain space when it was on air, Marry My Husband. Oh my god,
that was also on my top list. I was like, it was between that and My Sweet Mobster for my top 3. Because like, listen, when Marry My Husband was,
because weren't they on at the same time, like around the same time?
No, there was like a little. I think Mobster was a little later, but I just remember because it was Monday, Tuesday was Marry My Husband, and you and I every day would be like,
have you watched it yet?
Have you watched it yet? Like Sky and I were eating that shit.
We we did a live stream on it. So if anyone wants to know our thoughts about it, go check out our YouTube channel.
Go check out our live stream on Marry My Husband. Such a fun show.
Although it's funny, Sky like had the opportunity to do something really funny for her top 3.
Oh, and, I considered it. It's not done yet though.
Okay.
There's 2 more episodes left.
Oh.
Like it'll end like the 29th is when it stops airing. If you're curious, it's Love Your Enemy.
I just started it. I'm really enjoying it.
Yes, Love Your Enemy. But so like I haven't finished it yet. I am caught up. There are 2 episodes left. So
we don't pick our top movies, but I wanted to throw out one movie.
Okay.
Because for like the tops, because it was the best movie I watched this year. And that was My Happy Marriage, the J-drama. Fantasy J-drama that Jessie and I think Sky Sky watched it too.
Yeah. Did I?
Yeah, for movie club.
I've moved since then.
It was a while ago.
It was probably like second.
It was a Japanese fantasy movie. It was delightful. It was.
Yeah.
It had Meguro Ren in it. He had a beautiful blonde wig.
Yeah.
And magical powers.
Yeah. I saw anime. Got it.
Yeah. There is also an anime.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the anime is on Netflix. Maybe I've been wanting
to watch. Yeah, the anime is on Netflix, and I think a new season just dropped.
Yeah, something like second or third season is up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So good. It's also good to not know a lot about it. Go check it out.
Sure.
Yeah. We won't say much else, but
it's good.
Loved it. But before we move on from this, give us a fourth one. Just throw out another drama.
Any fourth one?
Or extra drama that we
like
just something extra.
What about like one we? What about one we recommend folks to check out? Like maybe.
Well, that was the extra one. The one that the extra one that we recommend.
I got mine. Okay, starting with Amanda.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Mine is Night Flower. It almost ended up on my top 3. And I think a lot of people like it might have been during some other really highly popular show. And I also think a lot of people didn't like the age gap thing between the main actor and actress, and I think people then got miffy about that.
Is the actress the older one in this?
Yes, it's Honey Lee. It's the Honey Lee one.
Okay, okay.
She's so great.
How many times is it the older and nobody?
Enough.
So, Nightflower, if you like kind of silly historicals, you know, that whole subgenre of like not the break your heart someone cruelly dies midway through or something. It's not that. It's the silly horror that is also touching and stuff. That's Nightflower, and it's very actiony. It's very, very fun. Also, the cast loved making it. Like, I watched all the behind the scenes stuff. They had a blast. And also the lead guy from Brain Love, same guy. He also kind of worshipped the ground that Honey Lee walked on, like, as a veteran actor. So, like, just kept, like, soaking up any advice. And so you could just tell they had a really sweet relationship of just professional stuff. So, like, it was just really cute.
For me, the one I suggest is the Thai drama Wandi G'day. One of the most sex-positive dramas I've seen in a while. It was really cute. It was really fun. It's a little spicy, so like, you know, but like it's GMMTV spicy, so it's as spicy as GMMTV gets, which is like PG-13 spicy. There's like some men in underwear, okay, and they do be kissing each other with shirts off. All right, like, and they're talking about condoms, and for some reason the main sponsor of the drama is the HPV vaccine. So there's a bunch of scenes of them telling people to get the HPV vaccine.
Cool, man.
Delightful.
All right.
But I really, really enjoyed it. I think it's on Viki now. It was on YouTube when I watched it. But it's really good. Like, the acting is phenomenal. And, like, it's just got good vibes. And it's chef's kiss. Chef's kiss.
I guess I'll go. So I am picking the C-drama Regeneration. It's a thriller, and like a lot of things just keep unrolling as the episodes progress, but it's like really cool and really unexpected, because I was just kind of like bored one day and was scrolling through Viki and just found it and then just picked it up. It is from this year too, but essentially it's about this group of people who are kind of called to this one place for like a memorial service of this one guy who's passed away, and nobody knows like why they are specifically there. Like, they know the person who passed away, but they don't know each other, and it's a very kind of weird mismatch of people. And so then things get uncovered as the storyline goes on. It's a lot of fun to watch.
That's cool. I think for me, I'm going to suggest Our Parallel Universes. It's a sort of C-drama sketch drama show where every episode is a half hour and every episode stars the same two actors, but in completely different characters, in completely different situations, completely different times, universes, whatever. So it's wild. Some of the stories are better than others. Some of them had me just sobbing buckets. Some of them had me laughing out loud. We say this a lot about things, but like, there's something for everyone. There's literally something for everyone. If you don't like the first episode, skip to the second episode, because it's going to be a completely different genre, a completely different story, and maybe that's going to be the one that you like. So there will be one that you will like. I feel confident guaranteeing this, and it is on iQIYI. So
nice. And before we move off of dramas, I believe was this? Yes, there was here. Okay, before we move off of dramas, I do believe that our last thing was we wanted to give out what our most surprising drama. What drama surprised us the most this year when we watched it? So, Amanda.
I don't know.
Nothing surprises me.
I'm gonna go back to anime, and the thing that surprised me the most was the drama Windbreaker, the anime Windbreaker that I watched with my son, that we just picked up randomly, thought, we'll watch this a couple episodes a week, as a palate cleanser for One Piece. And then we inhaled it in 2 days because it was just like crack. We just enjoyed it that much. So it's in that Japanese fighty high school, universe.
Fighty high school, yes.
Like,
when you're in a fighty high school mood, nothing will do except for a fighty high school moment.
So it's fighty high school, and I know that I've talked about it before, but like if you like that 80s video or the Road to High Low, like that kind of gangs, but like make it school uniforms, it's a thing, and it's a big thing in Japanese media, and it was very, very fun. And apparently a second season coming out, so we're looking forward to it. Yeah.
How about you, Jessie?
I'm like stuck between two, but I think I will pick The Trunk, mostly because the trunk is so just like it's not an afterthought in the show, but it's not about the trunk. So if I'm doing literally like the most surprising, it's literally because it's not like especially what I thought of, also because we did an episode on it, so I kind of delayed watching it like very early on because I wanted to get as close to a recording as possible. So it was long enough, even though it wasn't that like much of a time between, it was long enough that people already had their think pieces online, and I was like, and I don't normally care about what everybody says because like most of the time you guys are lying, so like I know I'm like it's not gonna be what I think, but like there were some like really like weird things being said, and I was like, okay, and then I watched it and I was like, yeah, that doesn't happen. I guess you didn't actually watch it. Like if you don't like something, you're gonna stop watching it. So stop pretending like you will like finish it.
When Jessie says you guys, she doesn't mean you guys, the listener. She means those think piece writers who are just writing to be haters.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Not you guys. We love you guys. You guys are cool.
Yeah.
Okay?
I wouldn't be talking to you if I didn't like you. Cool. Yeah. Like I would just not talk to you.
Natalia.
So mine was the drama Time of Fever. It was a Korean BL, and it was this. I'm not going to call it a sequel because it takes place before Unexpected Love Story. It's like the side couple love story. One, it was surprising to me because, for a couple reasons. One, I thought it was a movie, but it was a 6-episode drama. Two, I didn't listen, I liked Unintentional Love Story fine. It was fine. So I was expecting it to be the same level of This Is Absolutely Fine, but it was incredible. It was so good. And three, Hi BLs. Okay, we're up in the game is all I have to
You mean Korean BLs?
Korean BL, sorry, the KBL. The KBLs decided in the last part of the year to up the game a little, like to, actually make long form quality shows instead of just the slight handshake, Like, really stuff here. So yeah, Time Fever. It's on Aichi, and it is really, really, really good. And you don't really need to have seen Unintentional Love Story.
Yeah, you could probably actually watch that one first and then watch Unintentional Love Story, and it would actually make more sense.
You could watch this one and never watch Unintentional Love Story, and you would still get the same amount of enjoyment out of Time of Fever, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it being part of the Unintentional Love Story universe hinders or helps it in any way.
Okay.
So the one that's surprising to me, and I've waxed about this, but I'm gonna say it again. Lovely Runner, okay? Lovely Runner.
I'm surprised this is now like just when we're talking about it, because I think that this is going to be the top on everybody's list, or most of people's list.
So, and I finally recently seen some people mentioning murder. Finally. Thank you. So the reason it's surprising to me is like, again, the posters, the trailer, and because I was a busy little beaver this year, I didn't get to watch Lovely Runner until much later. Okay? Like, I just had to wait. And so when I finally got around to watching it, because I think I tried to start it and then I got busy, and so then I had to like restart it and go again. And no one wanted to really delve into the fact that it's not that there's just a murder dude. Like, it's not just a couple episodes.
It's a central plot.
It's the main plot.
It's not surprising. It's just there.
Because it was so fucking so cute. It is. But it's also very traumatic. Like, there's
that first episode is trauma. Like, it's very surprising.
Everyone wants to focus on that cute stuff, which there are cute moments. It's really a traumatic show, which I love. Like, I'm all about it. You know, and again, this isn't some like, oh, no one watched this. I know a lot of people watch Lovely Runner. Okay, I know this isn't anything novel. I just want people, if they're recommending it to other people, don't just say it's like a rom-com or something. That's mean. That's like legitimately mean. Don't do that. Like, because I was so shocked. I was so shocked. Like, because it kind of seems the way all the timelines and things go, I was like, okay, we had Murder Guy for a couple episodes. Maybe this is gonna like
peter out.
She dealt with that when she was in high school. Like, then we're gonna like move on. No, we are going to keep having Murder Guy.
Plot of the show.
Yeah, so like, because you're thinking the like whole like time travel watchy thing. You think that's like no, it's mostly Murder Guy like necessitating all of that. So
which did make like because I was watching it while it was airing and seeing what people were writing, and I was like, am I watching a different show than everyone else? Like, am I missing something here?
Well, and also, since I am an influenced
Love is blind,
fan,
I guess.
like, most people would be emphasizing his character and how his character is cute and funny and doing all this stuff, which
and that is true.
He doesn't have anything to do with the Murder Guy. So, like, of course, it never came up. Like, it's just like, oh, he's being funny with the band or whatever. And, like, and I'm like, guys, like, it's great that everyone likes Lovely Runner. I need you. It's a traumatizing show. Like,
I feel like a lot of people are going through that right now with Happiness because it's on Netflix now. And people are like, and people have talked about people, and they go and check it out, and then they're like, "Wow, this is a really in-depth look at like COVID lockdowns and like politics." And I was not expecting that, and I'm like, I know you weren't because
no. See, I just thought
people talk about it.
So funny.
The day came out, I literally texted my sister Shanta, and I was like, Shanta, there is a new show on Netflix called Happiness. I need you to not read the synopsis. I need you to not look at the poster. I just need you to press play and then come back to me when you're done. And she was like, why? I'm like, no, Shanta, I cannot tell you anything about this show. Trust me. And I feel like if you go into Happiness knowing absolutely nothing about the show, the sudden turn mid-episode 1, you're gonna be like, oh shit!
Especially because you're like totally into it, the two of them, and you're like, oh my god, this is a cute moment of like when they were in high school, and you're gonna.
But you
get
have to make sure it's someone that really wasn't thinking it's just a rom-com or something.
No. Like my sister Shanta and I, like we watched All of Us Are Dead together. Like we watched like the movie Midnight
you
together.
Were sure
like
that she would appreciate it. I'm just saying.
I knew that she would like that. You only people do not do this to someone who does not like
Lovely
horror.
Runner. I do feel like people could pull that with Lovely Runner.
Yeah,
like look at the cute poster,
and I think they did.
Cute.
Yeah, I think they did.
You know that people
discussed it. It's like, oh, it's so cute.
Because I didn't start even attempting to watch it until well after Sky too, and I not picked up on.
See, I remember when it was first announced, and people got really mad about it because they were assuming things about the plot that didn't actually happen in the plot. And then and people were like, we're not gonna watch this. y'all were a bunch of liars. Y'all watched it, and you
And
and I like
they
because
took
when I
it.
first saw that, as soon as like there was the plot where it's like he not really that much of a spoiler. It happens in the first episode. It's like he dies, and everyone's like he committed suicide, and I was like, the moment I saw that synopsis, I was like, oh, someone killed him and made it look like this is going to be a murder show, and y'all are all gonna look the fool because I've been around K-dramas long enough to know that's a murder stage to look. And I was like, and as soon as like I watched the first episode, I was like, look who was correct.
And I want people to know pretty much episode 1, it sells what you're gonna get. I want you to understand that about Lovely Runner. Like, I think it's great. I don't think it's for everybody, and I think that is also why a lot of people who wanted it to just be fluffy rom-com, you're not getting My Sweet Mobster out of Lovely Runner. Like that is not
just watch
happening
My
here.
Sweet Mobster. Like, just watch My Sweet Mobster. That's giving everything that you want Lovely Runner to be giving you.
Except that they're a little too old for the people that are like
also.
that. Yeah.
Oh no, they're in their 30s.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. So anyway, that's why, because I had surprise murder happen, which again, I'm cool with, but I think a lot of people would have been like, oh no.
So before we get into just talking about other stuff, we're gonna take a little sojourn over into the music land to give you our top. We all are on Spotify. You know, it's just the way it is. And so we all got our Spotify Wrapped, which gave us our top 5 songs. It gave us our top artists.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to share them with you. Amanda, would you like to go first and tell us what your top 5 songs and artists were?
Okay, my top. Oh, I didn't write down my top artist, but whatever, close enough. So my top song was actually a gospel song, "Hope Road" by Tyrion, which I'm curious because I actually think the B-side is the song I listen to more, but sure.
Well, you know what?
So, hey, whatever, Spotify. Maybe I listen to the other one on YouTube more. I don't know. K-pop-wise, my top 5 were Quiz by Jung Se-woon, Sharpie by Jung Se-woon. Again, I think Sharpie I listen to more than Quiz, but sure, Spotify, whatever. Crown on My Head by ITZY, Slowly by I.M, and Haze. And I Love You by Dress, Jenny and Sam Ok. So, you know, they're typically the songs from the earlier in the year because
they get
listen
more
to them longer.
That's true.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
with mine,
So,
only one of them's from 2024. The rest are from 2023. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Jessie, what you got for us?
So that's the really big thing about Spotify. These aren't my top 5 of the year, like at all, period.
No.
Like to the point of like intentionally, like I did some streaming parties for Jay. So like there were times when I wasn't even like actively listening to it. It was just in the background. So that's like where we're at. So I'm sorry, that's just what the like if
that's just the reality of the situation.
I do have a top 5 list that isn't, because I like listen to it.
You can use that one instead. You can use that one instead.
It doesn't matter. Like if like I can give you both. I didn't. Yeah. Let me see. I didn't actually write down all of my top 5 for. I'll just give you my top 3 for what's real. And then what top 5 Spotify. So Spotify, obviously, right where you left me is number 1 from Jay. Which it is technically, that is right. That is the right song for this year. My second one is Afraid, which is on every Spotify
every year since it's come out.
Friendly Fire from Jay, which is one of the first of the new stuff that he did this year, so it's the first of the streaming parties.
Yes.
So there's that. Pac-Man is just one of my favorite songs, and then Lennon, which are all Jay songs. So there's that. For top,
Let me guess, your top artists were Jay
and
Day6.
Yeah, no, my top artists were Day6 and Jay, which, because if you think about it, it's because Jay has like 2-minute songs and Day6 does.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, that's my my top artist. In terms of like actual songs, my so Right Where You Left Me is my top song of the year for Asian artists. And then it's Cosmic by Red Velvet, which is like, I can't get enough of this song. Like,
it's good.
It's so freaking good. And then my third would be Monster from Day6.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So listen, my Spotify, very accurate, I do believe. Unlike other people who have questions, I'm like, nah, this seems correct.
The problem when you like jump apps, like if I'm like at home, I'm like, oh, this, and then if I'm at work, I'm like on this, or if I'm here, I'm this.
Sometimes like we have like a Google Home. We have some like Google Homes around our house, and so, but for some reason, the one in the bathroom, if my husband uses it, it doesn't pick up his Spotify account. It picks up mine, but it's his music. And so, like, there's a few on here where I'm like, I don't listen to Phil Collins. I just don't. It's actually famously, I don't listen to Phil Collins. Like, this
I hear
is kind
it in
of
the
a
background
joke
if
between my
like
husband and I.
He has
But I also listen to music a lot more than my husband does, so mine really does drown out whatever ones he accidentally listens to in the bathroom on my account when he's showering. But only one of my top 5 on Spotify was actually from 2024. The rest from 2023. Number 1, which was anyone who lives in my building could tell you this is true, was The Rizness by Taemin. And he was also my top artist. Shocker to no one who knows me. Next was Nightwalker by 10, which was the 2024 song.
Such
which
a
is
good
a
song.
sick song. It is such a good song. Next was Crazy Form by ATEEZ. Listen, I got a banger after banger on this list, okay? Next was Erase Me by One Us.
Okay.
Great song. And then Sky's gonna get really excited about my number 5 because it was Rebel by TVXQ.
Nice.
Perfect.
My top artists were Taemin, ATEEZ, Stray Kids, Beach Bunny, which is actually like my favorite indie band that's not Asian, but they're great. You should check them out. And then TXT, which is like, we knew.
Yeah.
We've been new. So my top songs, going off of what Natalia said, Rebel by TVXQ.
It's a good song. Yeah. It's a good song.
That was my number 1.
It's a really good song. Yeah.
So, and also, I recently was talking about this on Blue Sky. Like, so we're having a holiday moment right now, which I guess by the time Christmas is over, by the time anyone's listening to this, but if you want some Carol of the Bells, play Rebel by TVXQ and enjoy yourself.
I played it to my husband when it first came out, and I was like, honey, you gotta check out this song. You're gonna, I'm like, it has the boldest use of sample I've ever seen in my life. And he was like, okay, play it. And I played it, and he just looked like he listened to it, and in silence, and then turned to me and goes, that's not. And I was like, it is. And he was like, this is crazy. I'm like, it's crazy.
Because, like, they actually released it it was around Christmas time.
Yeah, it was like right before Christmas last year.
And their first performance of it was at a Christmas performance. So, like, it was, anyway, it's a whole thing. But it really doesn't sound that Christmassy, but there's a good use of Carol of the Bells.
Yeah. It doesn't, but it does.
It doesn't, but it does. Definitely the first time I heard it, I was like, I did have the what? Like, whoa. Because I think the first time I was interacting with the song, it was their performance. Like, I was tuning into it, and I was like, are we Carol of the Bells right now? We're Carol of the Bells. So that's interesting. And then I thought maybe on the album it was going to be different since that was a Christmas performance. You know, because
sometimes they do like remixes,
like add Jingle Bells to something because they're at a Christmas performance. Like, that's a whole thing. Nope, it was the same song. Anyway, actually, that whole album, TVXQ, is out. Like, it's good. I played it a lot this year. Second song, Into You by In Flying.
Mm.
Third song, Down by TVXQ, which is like same album. Meteor Shower by One We, Shoot It Out by
Yes.
One We.
Mm-hmm.
We did. Yeah. So yeah. And then my top artists. I am an open book. In Flying, Extraordinary Heroes, One We, TVXQ,
We are.
80s.
We all are that.
Like, listen, we're the
Yeah.
Like, we don't keep it a secret what we listen to.
No.
Like people
Not
like,
intentionally.
I know, like,
I think I listen
yeah.
to a lot more of some random things. Like I do listen to a lot of Vivis than anyone would ever like think I do.
Like I listen to a lot of like G Idol. That like
I mean,
like,
I do listen to a lot of ITZY for sure, and like, and
I'm
I really
honestly
liked that
shocked.
album by Jungkook.
Oh, and Billy,
so.
I like listen to Billy all the time.
Yeah.
I picked it up on one of my services. That Billy
I'm
was
surprised that
one
like
of my top ones.
ZB1, like ZB1 wasn't higher on my list because I listen to a lot of Zero Base One.
Chew. I listen to a lot of Chew.
Yeah,
she just never pops up on these top lists, and I'm like, she must be like right under or something.
Right underneath.
Right
Yeah. Because like this girl listened to Kill the Romeo a lot. Okay, but like apparently not enough.
Yeah, and like Kiss of Life. I like love Kiss of Life. Like so I've been like playing them nonstop too. But like not on Spotify. I mostly actually if we're really like honest with ourselves, Spotify is 90% podcast for me, and then the rest is just playing it when we're recording episodes.
And it's sort of funny because I listen to a lot of K-pop, but then I also listen to just a lot of like indie folk.
The regular
what you could describe.
Well, I've got a lot of like Beyonce on there this year, and I've got so it's
it's all good. But
I feel like I need to give a shout out to Apata by Rose and Bruno Mars because like I just love that song. Like it's just, but it hasn't had time to make the top of the list, you know.
Baby, don't you
also,
like I need you now?
Shout out! I just want to say because of this year, just shout out to like Big Bang coming back.
There was actually like a really funny TikTok that I saw. Not
and
on
281,
TikTok.
like that was those two things huge this year. Like I want
there was
to realize.
Concert.
There was a really funny TikTok that I saw reposted. It wasn't on TikTok, and it was like this guy sitting there, and it was like POV. You're an idol who didn't go to Mama 2024, and he's like, oh man, I'm so glad I didn't go. They're probably like, I get to hang out at home, be comfy. And he's like, I wonder what they're up to. They're probably doing something really random, something really stupid. And then it shows him like opening his laptop, and all of a sudden you just hear like "Fantastic Baby," and he's like, no. And I got like a good laugh out of that one.
I love that like
so
everybody
funny.
in the audience, like when they were panning around to all they were doing the choreo.
I love when that happens, and that happens every year when they have like a second gen. It just like
it makes it so funny every time you see these like fan wars where some like newer fans like, oh, nobody even knows who Big Bang is. It's just like everyone knows who Big Bang is. Actually, speaking of K-pop, this is so funny because my husband was just reading an article. He was like, I read a think piece that he's like, I'm going to read you some things in it that are probably going to make you laugh. And I was like, they probably will. And the one that made me laugh was, it was like, the think piece was like, is K-pop losing its like cultural identity? And do you want to know what song, like what group they said was the harbinger of the losing of the Korean identity in K-pop? I assure you, you're never going to be able to guess what song, group it was.
Just tell us.
Seo Taiji and the Boys. I was like, the first one?
I mean, I guess
the first one?
We can make a claim that they never had their culture because most of it is black culture and black music.
But I was just
so,
like, I was like, the first one?
You mean the first?
From the first popular group?
I guess they're not doing
Trot,
so
you know what, my guy? You do you, boo boo.
I
Like, but I was just like, honey, Like, he's like, oh, I've never even heard of this group. And I was like, that's because they're the first one.
Like,
That's the first, like, K-pop famous group.
first gen, first entry. Like,
Literally.
Open the encyclopedia.
So what you're saying is, there never was a genre. Just like we've always been saying, K-pop isn't a genre. K-pop is a system of production. That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I'd always laugh at this. I know we go on a little soapbox, but I'm like, you're gonna look at me. Like, even if you're like, oh, like newer K-pop is pandering to like the West, whatever. But it's like, you're gonna look at me. If you go back to second gen, okay, and you're gonna tell me that Big Bang and Girls' Generation are the same genre of music. Don't even. We're not doing this. I'm not even gonna.
On that front, we had some Girls' Generation performances. Like,
Yes.
all types of stuff going on this year.
Listen, fun is back, friends. Fun is back.
And
God
also-
7's coming back.
Yeah, God 7. Yeah.
Fun is back. Listen, I feel alive once more. Like, I was feeling a little dead inside, but now, like,
second
life
Infinite
is
coming
blooming
back.
within me.
Infinite is gonna have a come.
Infinite's having, like,
doing stuff. Oh my gosh.
Baby Vox.
Life is coming back to me. You know, like, I'm feeling alive for the first time.
Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah,
you know?
this is like when I first got into it. Yeah, okay. Let's do this.
And now we could see little behind the scenes moments of G-Dragon just being a weird little dude.
Just being a weird dude.
This
the
is
weirdest
out of my era, and he loves
Listen,
like
I always like. I was talking about this with Sky because I was watching. He like had like these little like behind like from like, you know, like his recent comeback. He had these like behind things, and I'm like, I always like got the vibe that he was one of my people, i.e. neurologically unbalanced, like from neurodivergent from a while. But just watching him in these asides, I'm like, this man is barely functional. Like, it's like anything distracts him. And it was so funny. Like, I was watching it with my husband, and it has all of these, like, him just being totally weird. Just absolutely mystifying to everyone around him. But he's followed constantly by a single manager who never smiles once. He's just like, let's go. And my husband was like, well, of course that's the type of manager he has. How else would he get anything done or get anywhere? And I was like, you're right.
You just need that, you know?
You're right.
We're all built differently.
Yeah, exactly. And
some of us have to have that role in life, and that's okay.
Yeah, like, listen, why do you think I married my husband? I loved him, yes, obviously, but also he remembers where to get on time. He remembers to pay the bills on time. He notices before the fridge runs out of food that it's running out of food. You know what I mean? Like, meanwhile, I'm just like, honey, I picked up another hobby. We need the balance, right? Speaking of balance, it's time to go more on the podcast side. We're moving away from music now and moving to us as people, just us as a podcast. I think the easiest one to start with is we recorded like 40 some odd episodes this year. Actually, more than that. We recorded almost 50 episodes this year. We only took a couple weeks off. What's everyone's favorite? We got some faves episodes in the house.
I really enjoyed the drama exchange episodes. Like, and not even just the episode itself, but like the plotting, the planning, you know,
everything that goes into it. Yeah.
It just, and I mean, watched some banger dramas. Like, was gifted some bangers
that you may have never picked up otherwise.
It's true,
exactly, and it was just, and it was fun to pick stuff for you guys, and
it's fun to give gifts to friends.
Also, it's an opportunity. Sometimes you get into a position where you can almost bully the other person into watching the thing with you.
That's true.
Like,
you're like, why haven't you right now?
If I ever have a theme that's historical and Natalia has not watched My Dearest yet, I'm going to
watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I promise.
I almost did that with the Isekai one last, because I was like, you know who hasn't watched Scarlet Heart yet? And it's an Isekai. But then I was like,
still not available.
It's
anywhere.
And you need
to,
like,
with the Thai remake of Scarlet Heart, I suspect that someone will pick it up.
It has to be.
You would hope so, man.
Yeah. Because it was on.
Of course,
Drama?
we said that about Someday or One Day and the Korean
That's
version.
true.
And
But
Taiwanese never came back.
But if Vicky picks up, because Vicky has the thing going with
I think if
GMM
it's
TV right
not
now,
Netflix, we have a better
Yeah,
chance.
we have a better chance.
Yeah.
Like if Vicky is picking up the remake, it'll probably pick up the two, like the
I think
because the Korean was a remake.
Vicky has to have been trying to pick up Scarlet Heart for like ever. Like there's no way that they haven't.
Because it's like it's such a popular.
Yeah, so
or I don't care if it's not Tubi, awesome. But like, it needs to be
it's
somewhere.
I
Exactly.
No, but it could happen.
It could happen. Jessie, what was your favorite episode?
I did like the exchanges, but I think our newest series, Defend Your Drama.
Yeah, that was fun.
I'm like liking that. Yeah, it's a fun little like change. Because like before we like had like I guess like an essence of it where we kind of do when we do like the tropes or genres jar.
Yeah.
Where like you would pick your one and you're kind of like saying like why you should watch it for that drama, but like it's not as or like and it doesn't have to be but like as in depth of being like listen, these are the reasons I think that you should watch this and this is being misconstrued and I need to tell you why it is so you can stop like putting it on a hold and watch it, Yeah. To like being like, no, this is my fave and I want to give it a voice, Yeah.
I just like you. I think other people to give it a chance. Mine was BL Santa. And it wasn't because I didn't have to do any work for it.
BL Santa in July.
Well, you did.
So I did. So the BL Santa, if you didn't watch it, you should because it was fun. Was for my birthday. It was a drama exchange, but I was the only one giving out drama.
Did she did you actually work or was this already already have it planned? Like in your head you had already been like, okay, so I hate that you haven't watched this.
We usually plan episodes like a month in advance. Okay. But in January of last year, I put this on the books for June when my birthday is. I said, this is what we're doing. I already knew which, pretty much, actually, I switched Sky's drama because I was going to give her, I Told the Sunset About You, but I switched it to, I Feel You Linger in the Air because I was like, I think she'll like it better. And I just wanted people to watch shows that I think they would like. I like doing that. And two, I like BL and like making people watch it. And they had to watch it. And they all liked them. So it was not like I was picking bad dramas for them to watch.
We could do it again.
We might do it again. We might do it again.
Might as well.
Sky, what was your favorite episode this year?
So, I had written down, I did like so it kind of all started with the genre jar guilty pleasures. Like that was kind of the first step towards then later on becoming Defend Your Drama type level. But I do like it when we talk about dramas that kind of dramas that are either overlooked or dramas that maybe have been
older
misconstrued
dramas,
or older dramas.
Sure.
I think it's fun. But also, it's fun to also be like, this is kind of a trash drama, but I get a lot of joy out of it, and this is why I get joy out of it. That doesn't mean that you have to necessarily, but that's why, I think it's fun, dagnabbit. Yeah. And that's kind of how Defend Your Drama can be on so many different levels. And that's also what's kind of cool. So you can kind of approach it in whatever mood you're in that day,
sure.
What drama are you just really feeling like you want to talk about for whatever reason. So it's pretty flexible, but at the same time, it does let us talk about a little bit more nuance. We always discuss nuance and stuff, but it's fun.
And did anyone have a favorite live stream? Now, listen, this is kind of a fake fake question because I personally think there's one of our live stream series that we do that sort of is a cut above the rest. And that's the role for drama.
That one's our
series.
That's a lot of fun.
And it was definitely the evil vacuum.
So there was for me. So if you're curious, we're going to talk about what it is for a second. So if you haven't hopped over to our YouTube channel, which please subscribe, like and subscribe.
Please do.
we do have, so Roll for Drama, we took a page out of, there's a guy called Adventures in Ardia over on TikTok once upon a time. He does Roll for Sandwich. So we do Roll for Drama where you roll dice. And we have these screen card things that tell us like, oh, for location or genre or whatever.
Yeah.
Then we have to go from there, and that's how we build our stuff.
Mhm.
So that's what it is. That's what we're talking about.
And we make up a drama.
We try to do it monthly, like sometimes life, but like we try. And sometimes we even pick like an additional theme on top of that once in a while if we're like feeling spicy. And then you feel really spicy when you suddenly roll for Omegaverse stuff. Like that
was so good. That episode was so good.
The dice really love.
Listen, the dice got jokes. Okay,
yeah,
the dice have like the best comedic timing I've ever seen in my life.
Our most recent one, we did like a recasting of A Christmas Carol, and like the final dice roll threw us for a loop and just brought the whole story together, and it was like perfect. It was like, there it is.
Huzzah.
So,
it also had a ghost Lehman Ho in it. It was very fun. Lehman Ho's been in quite a few episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
That's where he is.
Quite a bit.
Every single time you're like, where is Lehman Ho in our dramas?
In our dramas. If you're wondering, we've cast him in our minds. Yeah. In the theater of the mind, he's working overtime.
He's so busy with us.
Also, one of my favorite role for drama this year. I don't remember like what number it was, of course, but like I don't remember the backdrop of it, but we had a PPL role, so like, and it was vacuum, and so we made it like a main character situation of like, we made an evil robot vacuum.
Yeah. It was so good.
It was so good.
There was a dog. Only the dog knew it was evil.
Yeah. It was a very much like apartment centered too, so you had like lots of like characters just because of that.
Like, imagine if Sweet Home, instead of like a bunch of evil monsters terrorizing them, it was just a vacuum committing murder.
Do we have
easy to imagine, right?
It's great.
You don't have to imagine. You can go and watch.
Yeah, you can go watch and find out all the details.
Yeah.
Actually, we are really proud of our role for dramas and the way that all started was we definitely were inspired by that guy, but like before we started doing the role part of it, we were trying to do like casting stuff on the podcast. Yeah. Like we would try to create dramas
fake
once
dramas
in a while
and stuff. Yeah,
and so that's how we kind of like married the two concepts and then kind of came up with that. And so we actually are. We think it's very fun.
I found it on our Discord. We sometimes like Natalia will like make a full like character profile and a poster and stuff. And so I found we do have it. So it was a 12-episode SBS apartment complex comedy action adventure K-drama called Starry Heights, and it's
Starry Heights.
Shinma
baby.
Lee Jung-suk, Kim So-hyun, Gong Hyo-jin, and Kim Sol-gi. Oh, and Kim Sol-gi is always in it.
She's always in them, yeah.
It's very funny. You should like look at the poster.
The poster is some of my there's this other, when I say the poster is some of my finest work, comedically.
Yeah, she has like a picture of the dog, and it's like, I tried to warn you guys, and then the like vacuum is like, I know only hatred.
I've actually put like a lot of effort into some posters. Like when I get time to do them, like I've hand drawn, like hand painted posters. This one's just Natalia being a goofy,
it's so good.
Like just nonsense. No, it's good times. It's good times. And I feel like more people should come.
Yeah,
hang out to
really
the
great.
There's
so
much
much
fun.
So I will say, like, we do typically have them on Saturdays, like during the day, like North American time. So like, and I know that doesn't work for everybody, and like, it's we cannot do all times at all times, but you can always watch the replays. Like,
true, yeah,
you're welcome.
Now I'm just scrolling through the Discord, and I just encountered the Omegaverse Mafia.
So if you do want to see these posters we're talking about, they're on our Discord.
Yeah, they're on our Discord.
If you need help getting onto that, just let us know and we can lead you the way.
Link, if you're on YouTube, the link should be down below for joining. It's good times. It's good times. We have a good time. We have a good time here.
We do.
You know, we have a good time. Speaking of good times, what predictions do you have for the new year? Anything fun?
Ooh.
I have a big one.
Go for
I
it.
think it's true. Okay, so like it's not like a super big one, but I think it with recent events, I think I've like put things together. I obviously have no insight in behind the scenes of anything, so this is just speculation. So get that out there. Do not come for me, lawyers. No, I'm just kidding. I think that there are going to be more J-dramas on Netflix, and we've been kind of seeing that versus like the very beginning of this year towards the end of this year, like versus other like years before. And I think that's because they went on a spending spree and bought a lot of older J-drama licenses. And potentially this is also like maybe like a thing with the Japanese government as well to kind of like help the export of that in a like more controlled manner. And I think that this is a thing because of Drama Cool not being around anymore. I think Netflix bought a lot of stuff, and maybe potentially Japanese government tie-in. They now actually were like, yeah, we actually have to put the money to take them down, like so that we can get back on our stuff, so that like the licenses are out, because like it's Netflix isn't like really stupid. It's not like they haven't known about it, but people talking about it a lot more made them realize that it is a problem, and not just like okay, these people are doing it, like whatever, it's not monetarily, it doesn't hurt us like enough. But now that they have more older J-dramas, which is like, if you've looked at like what they put out in like at least the past like 3 or 4 months, they've been older J-dramas. Lots of older J-dramas, and it's like
ancient.
Now we're getting to like, there are some weeks when we'll have like 3 or 4 J-dramas just drop, and that never has been a Netflix thing. So I think that's why Drama Cool went away. I mean, Drama Cool, like, let's be real, it was illegal. It never was supposed to be a thing anyway, so like you can't get too mad about it because it's still illegal. And they also, you know, stole all of their subs, so it's not like Drama Cool was subbing any of it, so they're not the greatest, you know, in this game anyways. But I think that like that was like the fire to be like, okay, now we're gonna put money onto it, get that out, but then we'll see a lot more J-dramas on Netflix. It's like a lot more like comparatively to this year.
I like it. I don't really have any. I'm bad at this. This is the one I'm not good at. Like whenever I say it never turns out. I don't have very good precognition.
Like you can also see that like, you know, next year is going to be heavy on rom-coms because this year was heavy on thrillers and crime stuff. So I can see that.
I predict that I will still be on my BS next year. That's my only.
I predict that Natalia will watch lots of vertical dramas.
Oh, I can run out. They give me new ones every day.
I predict that the Natalia's Santa will not be BL focused. It will be vertical dramas.
No, I won't listen. I will not do that to you. But like, listen, if there is a desire out there for like a vertical drama like live stream or something, I think that's a far more reasonable thing that I could do rather than inflict them upon the unwilling, you know? It's really a thing that it's like you gotta really want. Like I'm in like a Discord and there's like a bunch of us. We love vertical dramas. And not in like a, oh, these are so good sort of way, because most of them they're not, but like in a are having so much fun.
It's a community. I stumbled upon like non-Asian ones, and the amount of like engagement they get on YouTube is
crazy.
It's actually kind of crazy. It's like,
but it's like I can't watch the non-Korean one. I can't watch the non-Chinese ones because like cringe in another language I'm fine with. Cringe in a language I understand.
Like some of them. The one that I like, the firefighter one.
Yeah, she sent me a trailer for one and it was so absurdly bad that I'm just like,
the firefighter like doesn't save his kid, he saves the girl that
like
he
his
loves.
mistress or whatever. Like, I'm just like, oh my god.
But
like,
let me just
that's
say
like
that
the
like
level
main
that we're
level,
talking
like the
about.
main actress, she was putting
She
her
was
all into this role.
There's always listen, when I tell you these terrible dramas, there's always one actor who's
It's
really like putting in work. They are doing their best to try to give the audience a good time, okay? And you gotta appreciate that like these people know they're in a bad show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they know they're not making high art here.
But they're
not
still
making
doing art.
But
That's
they are
the
putting
big
in the
thing.
effort to make it entertaining. So you gotta respect that. You gotta respect the hustle.
Yeah.
And they're fun. They're stupid and fun, and they're fun. I love them.
Do we have any like K-pop or music?
I think more second gen, like more.
It's coming.
There's gonna be more of those comebacks and those.
Especially since a lot of them are like they're out of the military now. They're there's no.
Yeah.
They're just vibing, right?
I think there's gonna be some sort of like peak break, and like idols are gonna like start like not being okay with sasaengs like at a level that we're not seeing.
Good.
Like I want that to be.
Soon.
I mean, like to the point where they're just gonna start like aggressively doing things that like sasaengs don't like. Yeah, mass suing, calling them out, like immediately. Like I'm in a relationship with this person. I'm not even gonna like let you like have it. Like I think they're gonna go.
Being tied to the sort of resurgence of those like first and second gen groups,
sure,
because they're adults now, right? Like they're grown,
have families to protect.
Have families. They are not gonna, you come around like my kids, and I'm
one time they call them the cops,
right?
Yeah.
Like it's not. We're not.
They're gonna be pulling
anymore.
They're going to be pulling a Changmin from TVXQ and pulling those motherfuckers out of the cab and screaming at them. And for anyone who's like, wow, that seems like over the top, they tried to murder him. So they literally tried to poison him.
It's not just like they're like annoyingly like calling them all the time. Like it's
they're
but like also like right now that we have this like really terrible thing where like people are sending the funeral wreaths when they like
that's
gotta also. I mean, they should be like. It should be aggressive. I don't think we should be lenient on those people because they know what they're doing, and it's.
I saw someone online saying that they should be sued for attempted murder.
Yeah, it is.
They're trying to get these people to kill themselves.
If your place has laws where like you can't like try to like goad someone into committing suicide, that should also be part of it. Like it's just not acceptable in any. Yeah. And I think there is going to be a breaking point. Like I think like it's getting to a point where like idols just aren't like we see it right now with like the groups that are like leaving their companies and like kind of that it's like been a little bit more like I think it's just gonna start
escalating,
getting big.
Yeah. I hope so.
Did you quote Kevin Moon? Idol Union?
Yeah.
Idol Union? Kevin from the boys who just left their company and are now at a new company.
Mm-hmm.
So and they took the name and everything. They said peace. And good for them. And there's this nonsense of these companies trying to keep the group names.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's also like the boys aren't.
Also, they gave you their time.
Their fans aren't there for.
They made you their money.
It also reminds me of when they tried to take down Chew, and everyone was like, "Don't mess with Chew.
You're gonna mess with Chew. Everyone loves her.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna do it to like somewhere when it like that's the real thing when like people do it like enough and then they do it to the one that like absolutely makes no sense to every single person, even someone who's like not even in the game, and they're like, what? Okay, and that's when everybody flips. Every single person flips, and they're like,
and
this is not it.
I need more energy of like G-Dragon giving that very sarcastic press conference outside the police station when he was basically being harassed by the police for months over unfounded criminal allegations that led an actor to kill himself, which is terrible, but that happened this year. That was this year.
Yep.
And G-Dragon was just like Yeah, bitch, I got more money for lawyers than you do, coppers. Let's go. Let's tango. I got you have other cases you have to deal with. I'm putting all my
got
energy.
And look at him, he
time.
still was able to like be on stage at the end of the year.
And he
So
won.
Right.
And he won
He's
because
like,
there was nothing. They had nothing on him.
he's like, I'm just weird. Leave me alone. Like, just no.
But you know what? I was actually talking with my husband, and I was like, if you're unfamiliar with someone like G-Dragon, you would think he was on drugs. But it's like, that's like, people ask if I'm on drugs all the time. Because like weirdly intense, easily distracted, does weird shit. Yeah, that could, if you're not neurodivergent, that could be a sign of doing drugs. But if you are neurodivergent, that's a sign that you're not on your drugs. You know what I mean? Like, I assure you, he ain't doing anything. If he was on speed, he'd be much slower. I'm just putting that out there.
I actually wanted to give a shout out earlier. So when we were talking about the performance that they did at Mama, like, not only did Big Bang do a performance, before that, G-Dragon did like 2 or 3 songs. And then immediately, like, the amount of performing that he did right after one another, like, he's so impressive. Like, just
he's so good.
I'm like,
the energy he brings
anymore, man. Like, how did you do that? Like, you had to work really hard.
My prediction: we get a new G-Dragon album coming out this year. That's not a prediction. We know we are. We know.
Yeah, but like it's solidified.
He teased us with a little mini EP situation. Nah, he's bringing us the goods. We know it.
And I think CL's on it. That's my prediction. That's it.
Nice.
That'd be nice.
You know what? Let's just transition directly into putting out in the universe our podcast powers, because that's actually
that's the big thing.
That's more of a desire.
Yeah.
Because we have this little ongoing joke where we wish for things and then they happen.
But they do actually happen, so it's kind of like a weird thing that we're magic.
Yeah. So like if you're questioning like what happened, Jessie for years put out there more J-dramas, legally accessible.
And specifically, last year she asked for more J-dramas, and then suddenly Netflix was like, J-dramas.
I was like, my magic?
You're like, okay. Listen, I know this might be in poor taste, but if we're Wushu Bakery?
Wushu Bakery!
Oh. That would be nice. That would be nice.
Please, sir, the world wants Wushu Bakery. Please, sir. I would like to wish with my podcast powers, actually, that someone picks up Jeff Satter's movie. Thorn. What was it called? Something Thorn. Anyway, his movie that looked really good, and I'd like to watch. I'd like someone to pick that up. Please.
I would like to put out into the universe that I would like for China to kind of like loosen some of their reins on some of the things that they've done. I want the esport dramas back, China. I want the esport dramas to come back.
Yeah. Don't mess with Amanda's sport dramas.
Listen, they're trying to mess with the vertical dramas now.
China.
Yeah, they've said you can't have every grandmother be evil because it makes old women look bad.
No. They really said that. They said very seriously, you can't make all the grandmas evil on your vertical dramas. This is something they wrote down.
There are people in the Chinese government with too much time on their hands.
Too much time on their hands.
And they actually believe that, like, people will be like, oh, yeah, this drama that I'm watching is true. And
this TikTok drama is really making me
I should go to
the
grandmother who has never done anything bad to me is actually
But now I see,
evil.
Listen, I've seen some terrible vertical dramas, and now I believe all old women
because that's how it
evil.
works.
It's like,
but they're very
it also makes
stunted
all
acting,
adoptive parents look like monsters. Like, I don't, like, listen, we all know this is overblown nonsense. Like, chill.
Like,
it has
I also
like,
believe that there's so many
turn you evil
billionaire CEOs in China. And it's just overrun with them.
Yeah.
And they're all hot,
and they're all hot, they're all single, they're all straights, and they all have parents who need them to get married. Usually their grandpa dying.
All the rich girls in the world are like really good at looking like they're not rich at all. Nobody catches on. Nobody goes, hey, I went to school with her.
The one trope that gets me, that makes me laugh literally every time, is like, you'll have the one girl who's married to the rich CEO, usually in some sort of contract business marriage, and she goes to work at the company, and then someone comes and is like, oh, the boss's wife is coming to like work at the company, and doesn't tell them who it is. So her and one other employee who's dressed nicer than her then show up, and then they all like turn to the nicely dressed one and are like, oh, you're married to so-and-so, and that person just says, yes, I am.
Yeah.
Just lies and is like, yeah, absolutely, I'm married to the CEO. No. Like, any sane person would be like,
you wouldn't do that if you don't know who the CEO's wife looks like, just to make sure. Like,
well, and also
you would ask their name.
When they
ask their name.
Stories, the CEOs are always like kind of famous too. Like, so would you not
all
have
the ladies
seen her on the newspaper or whatever?
Usually it's a new marriage, so they haven't like, they're keeping her secret.
What happens when she like is not secret anymore, because you know that like she's not going to be secret?
Well, usually,
so like you have 2 weeks of this, and then like, oh shit, I'm going to be put in jail now by a billionaire.
Usually, the CEO's wife in these doesn't want people to know she's
that's
the CEO
true.
wife. So she has explicitly told her husband,
but like that's
not to tell people, but he did anyway.
Paparazzi works, you know.
Yeah. So then she'll be like, yeah, let this rich evil lady pretend to be.
I love when they pretend to be the maids.
Reason.
They're like the maids of the company instead, and you're like, what? Come on.
No, there's always like the mom or the grandma pretends to be like a cleaner at the company, and all of the women are for some reason really mean to like the janitors at this company.
Except for the
like,
one person.
Except she's nice, so then she's like, I guess I approve of you as a daughter-in-law, even though you're
or
from a
it's like
poor
also
family.
Where like the mother-in-law doesn't know what she looks like, so like then this like nice person comes along and she's like, oh my god, I love this person, and she like
Jessie?
hates the in-law.
Jesse, I have a question for you.
It's called TikTok.
You tell me that you don't watch these.
I don't watch them full. I watch.
I don't, but I do.
I watch a minute or less.
Yeah, then that's all.
And that's all you need.
That's all you need. That's all you need. You get the basic gist. You get the gist.
So like not even an hour worth of them. I've watched more of that firefighter
one.
I mean, it's not that I won't watch them. Well, okay, I will say, like, I don't know where you're watching. Like, most of the ones that I see on TikTok,
watch them on YouTube.
Like, if I look to find them, they're all on paid sites. Like, I can never, finish them. And then I get mad. And so I'm like, I'm not going to watch you now.
Yeah. I watch just compilations that they make on YouTube, that they pull them directly off of Douyin, poorly translated, music distorted. Yeah. It's an auditory nightmare. I'll be real. But, you know. But Sky, do you have any powers you want to put out? We gotta stop talking about the T-drama.
I do want to make a prediction, like not a power thing, kind of a prediction. Is you know how there was like a year or two there that like, oh, vampires are so hot right now.
Yeah.
Aliens are going to be so hot right now because
thank you so much.
Just contextually of like what.
Yeah.
It logically.
But we do still have
right now.
We do still have Golden Blood coming out, which is the GMMTV BL vampire. So I'm still very excited for that. But I think you might be right.
I mean,
because I feel like
so like it might be because of like we're gonna get a lot of space dramas already. It's confirmed where there's like at least 1 or 2 more coming out next year. So like it might be a
trend
catapult off of that.
I think because I do think the reason why we got some alien stuff from China once upon a time was because that was them doing their like workaround for other stuff.
Yeah, you weren't allowed.
It wasn't because they really wanted to do aliens. It's because they wanted to do their other stuff. But then they were just like, okay.
Originally, they were supposed to be fairies, but then they weren't allowed to be fairies anymore because of some reason.
Some dude in the government, you know.
So then, with too much time on his hands.
So then it became aliens, and I think that got kiboshed again, and we're back to fairies.
That got bad?
Listen, it's...
I feel like I haven't, like, heard about it, like, or seen any...
There's always some new nonsense. Like...
Whenever something gets popular, then they're like, oh, no.
They're like, we can't do this anymore. Like,
no.
A new government
rotting the
kill the joy that people are having. I guess.
Yeah.
But I do think... I just think even if even out of China, I do think that like Asian dramas in general, I do think that we'll see more space stuff, and I think
so. I agree.
Even if you're not seeing a lot of alien characters, you're gonna start seeing alien.
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean,
stuff at least being discussed.
We already have a K-drama that had like did spectacularly, and he was an alien. So might as well just be the year.
You know what?
Because we have birds and drones, we're like it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
This isn't a prediction. This is another wish that I want to put out there. I would love more like Lovecraftian style.
Oh yeah.
Horror dramas. That would be something that I personally would very much enjoy.
That would be
not
fun.
because I like support Lovecraft's message, because he was a terrible racist, but like the mythos he created lives beyond him. You know what I mean? Now, before we leave, before we go our separate ways and enjoy our holiday cheer, because as we said, we are recording this on the 23rd, so that we could go spend time with our families or whatever we do. Over Christmas, I don't know what. I'm spending time with my husband, not the rest of my family. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah. Jessie's going to see her family. Amanda has family. Sky's hanging out with her husband. So yeah, she's seeing her parents. We want to talk about like what do we want to do as a podcast next year? What are our goals as a podcast?
I mean, obviously,
continue
creating the greatest, you know, dramas that nobody will ever see.
Absolutely.
Roll for drama.
I would like us to incorporate some different things. Like, I think I want to keep us to do some of the things that we're doing now, like our, you know, drama exchange. But I think we can figure out some different types of like episodes, and not just like the norm or what we have been doing. And maybe like we do, I don't know, like I feel like not a lot of people that come to listen to our podcast because of music, but like I would like to do more music centered stuff. I don't know how that translates. Maybe that like it might be like more live stream. I know like Sky and I have been talking about doing like a Billy live stream, kind of like how we did our Play one, because we can like have graphics on the screen and stuff, and it makes it a little bit easier when you're like, here's this person that we're talking about, and you see visuals. But I don't know, more music would be fun.
Yeah,
I would like. We did want to do a lot more collabs than we did last year, but like just timing.
I think we like more.
We've already
laid the groundwork for it. Like, you know,
and you know, just like get out more in the community, chill with more people, that sort of thing. And this is just for Sky and I. Sky and I have a separate live stream thing that we do. I would like to do more gamesness is what I jokingly call it, where Sky and I play questionable video games. So if you know of any like great questionable, nominally related to Asian entertainment,
that runs on Mac,
and you know what, that run on Mac, I think would actually also be fun.
Kind of a stickler.
Like maybe to do some like Otome game streaming, I think would be fun. Stuff like that.
There's actually one that I backed on Kickstarter. It's called "It's About Idols." Yeah.
Okay.
So I would love to do that.
I would like to see us. I mean, for my birthday this year, we read a book, and I don't know that always translates well into podcasts, but like maybe more with the Discord or Patreon or something to do a little bit more, like maybe book club type reading. You know, have a few more reading of Asian authors and things like that. Just you know, sort of get a little. We tried in the past to have a book club, and maybe try
again.
No.
Listen,
boot that
COVID
back up again.
Really threw a lot of things for a loop with our initial planning.
Yeah.
And we never quite recovered from it. But I feel like we're in a good place now where it's like we can look at things that we want to explore doing.
Yeah.
So
I also think did we ever do a deep dive yet? I don't think we've done a ton of deep dives on like non-Korean people. We've done one with a couple of
we did
the Japanese.
We did our boy Dean.
Yeah. We did Dean.
We did Dean. And then
we did
the two Cherry Magic fellas.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we should definitely branch out a little bit more on our stuff.
Maybe do some Thai stuff. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
It's a little bit harder, but it's not like impossible to.
No.
And if it's not like as long, it's not of an episode. It's it's fine.
Yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, that's like what you might have to look forward to, because we are going to continue on next year with the same schedule that we continue on this year. We've been pumping out episodes so regularly. When I think about it, I genuinely don't know how we do it.
I don't know how we do it either.
Like when I think about it, I'm just like, wait,
we've
done so many, because there's lots of podcasts that we like that like they sort of peter out and do like one episode every 6 months or something, and it's great when they do, but I don't know how we keep going, man. But we keep going because I love making content for people too. I love bringing my joy to other people, and I hope that the people who listen to us, whether just finding us for the first time or you've been listening to us for the last almost like over 5 years, I hope that we brighten up your Mondays every Monday, because that's when we have episodes out. All of which, look at this segue, you can listen to wherever podcasts can be found, or on YouTube in video. It's been in video since October of 2023. And also on our website, certifiednoonas.com, where the time codes and links to everything we talk about, you can find them there. You can even listen to every single episode in audio form on our website. So it's good times. It's good times. In addition, if you want to join our Discord, as we said, there is a link below. There's also a link on our website. It's like a real chill, cool Discord. If anyone is like aggressive or terrible, we boot them immediately. Like we are very moderation.
And it doesn't happen, so
it doesn't happen. It's
pretty
never
quiet.
Chill like place.
Everyone is real chill and cool on the Discord. We genuinely appreciate how chill and cool everyone on the Discord is. Because, it's a free to join. It's not like one where you have to be a patron or anything. But if you want to be a patron and support this podcast by joining the Found Family, you can go to patreon.com/certifiednoonas. To do so, I've got a bunch of plans for stuff for the new year, because we do mini extra episodes. We have a movie night every month. We have a good time. Okay, we like having good fun times and we want to continue the good fun times into 2025. So we hope you still hang out with us next year. Anyway, we hope you have a great week, a great start to your new year. If you're, take care of yourself, get over that holiday overindulging that you may or may not have done, and keep enjoying Asian entertainment. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.